personnel were kind of impressed when I think about the second meeting, we were sitting in the boardroom and they're looking out the windows over at the practice green. There's 4 or 5 deer over on the practice green, and one of them over on the driving range trying to shovel the snow off the driving range so he can eat the, you know, the little nylon bush coming up out of there. You know, we're not a high mountain, of course, and we're not in this big city surroundings either. Yet we honor tradition, and but we're also modern and forward-looking. So we are somewhat unique in our club, and we're the people that make this. The interesting thing that I found when we interviewed the various branding companies that we look to hire, and every single person that I talked to from a branding standpoint, the first thing is, they said, you got to change the name. You have to get rid of all that old baggage that you don't want, and we bring a new name in, and we'll build this thing to whatever it is you want it to be. I said, well, now, you know, I spent a lot of time with analysts saying, you know, we're not asking you to build this thing to whatever we want it to be. We are what we have made it. We are Rolling Hills. We like Rolling Hills. It is the name that we have, and you need to figure out how to best present that, because this is who we are. This is a pretty good, strong statement to them, for them to go out and do their job. Based on the findings in their strategic phase, analysts recommended a shift in the wording to our name from Rolling Hills Country Club to the Club at Rolling Hills. Sounds very subtle and not a lot going on there. But when you really get down into the bottom of it, Rolling Hills Country Club implies stuffing us, and is also not very differentiating, because it is a name that is prominent throughout the region as well as the country or the world for that matter. The subtle shift to the club at Rolling Hills provides a more modern and unique name that we feel, and they feel, that will appeal to the membership not only today but the future membership as we evolve. The term country club, 6 months or maybe a year ago, I'm totally unaware of the term and the connotation the country club has shifted to or evolved to over the years. It is thought to now people, particularly the younger generation, you know, all those younger kids that are in the 30s and 40s, you know, or maybe they're in the teens and 20s. But, you know, they hear country club and they think of your grandfather's country club and what I referred to earlier as the old back room and cigar smoking and cards and these things. We still do that to a certain degree, but we're a little bit different. Rolling Hills Country Club is not differentiating. It applies stuffing and pretentiousness, the gentleman's club, all the things I just talked about. If you shift to the club at Rolling Hills, you come away from that, have a little bit more modern feel to it. Without changing the name, you drop some of the negative connotations that you might have with the term country club. The logo was something that we felt that needed to be true to the club character, had to be family friendly, appeal to a wide range of audiences. I mentioned earlier the impact the golf shop has on the revenue stream for the club. We obviously want something that everybody can kind of relate to, and it appeals to them for merchandising. It has to be versatile. Once you take the term Rolling Hills away, or you take the term the club away, you take the text away, it has to be something that stands on its own, that it can't just be in need of text. It also has to be true to our surroundings. We talked about we're not a high mountain resort club, we're not a city club as well, so we need something that is somewhere in between and fits here where we are. Differentiating the logo is unique and helps set Rolling Hills apart from other Rolling Hills or other clubs for that matter. Animalists, while they focus, I told you about their encounters, I guess, with deer on the property. One of them was when they were coming up for another meeting, they actually had to wait for the deer to cross the road down by the tennis mobile before they could enter the property. They kind of felt strongly that a deer is the most compelling symbol for the club, because with both the characteristics and the unique surroundings of Rolling Hills, a deer fits in with them. Deer are family-focused animals, considered to be one of the smarter or more intelligent grazing animals, and obviously they're commonly seen on the property. Something the other clubs around town probably can't bring to the table. The last time somebody at Denver Country Club had to wait for the deer to cross the fairway was probably about 1912. We have wildlife on the course. It is unique. It's just something that you don't see every day. This is the logo and the script that the branding committee unanimously selected as the best candidate to represent our club going forward. We looked at a lot of different things. We liked a lot of different things that we saw, images, could abstract meanings out of it. But we felt this was something that had both the script that described us as well as the image that would take us into the future. It stands well on its own, looks well with the script, whether it's on a flag or on a jacket or on a bag, looks well on a hat, looks well on a ball. Obviously, these are my own personal terms, but Annabliss actually took this out into the not only the region but nationally, and had this graded. It graded out very high. We felt very strongly about bringing this logo. Some of the things that were smart about it, and I want to kind of revert back to this. A lot of people will maybe see the deer that's up there if you're just looking for that. Some people see the hills, the two slash marks that represent the hills. Other people may see the R that's in there. It's interesting that a lot of people don't see all three of those things. And that's one of the things that makes it kind of unique and interesting. That everybody sees what they kind of feel Rolling Hills is about. And that's really what we want a logo to do, is you want it to relate to the membership. I think this image does that very well. We really felt that this, and I mentioned that this logo was received well by both male and female audiences. We had a couple of things that, the guys were like, yeah, that's it, that's really cool. And I was like, really, you're going to take that home to your wife and you think she's really going to buy a shirt for you with that on it? Don't count on it. So we were sensitive to what we were looking at from an image standpoint and needed something that would, in fact, appeal across a wide range of people. There's alternate logos that we went through. These are some of the choices that we kind of looked at from the finalist group, if you will. And the one on the top left is also one of those that had opposing deer, an abstract image of a male and a female deer opposing each other. Once again, the lines indicating the hills. That was actually, I believe, if we had a vote, would have probably come in second place, but we really kind of all rallied around really the first place winner. The one on the top right was a rendition of the winning image, and there was a lot of favor for that, but we felt it was a little rustic, if you will. Maybe had a little bit too much testosterone in it, and we really felt that the softer side of that would appeal to a wider range of people and do a better job of representing our club. The two bottom logos, one of the things we really liked about that was the script. That script is a hand-drawn script and is copyrighted. Was drawn by the same guy that drew the script for Frontier Airlines. One of the things that drew us to these images was that it's hard to see if you want to think of this as a snowflake, or I personally, as you can imagine, think of it as a flower. And each petal of the flower, has a little image in it. It's hard to see from back where you're sitting, but it's an image of a person in a kind of a stick figure or an abstract person there. And we kind of liked how all of this represented a family unit and really represented the club. But in the end, we really didn't feel that as a whole, this was something that we could really hang our hats on for Rolling Hills. Graciously, Annabliss has offered to donate all of the copyright on not only the image,